I want to talk about threat detection. Counter-surveillance, fellow TIs, is a crucial tool for targeted individuals or for anyone that's looking to detect and prevent unwanted surveillance. Counter-surveillance is a tool to counter unwanted intrusive activities. And if you're experiencing something which is being done towards you systematically, and you're noticing this person or group is presenting a pattern, then they are presenting a habit, a routine practice. According to the Federal Rules of Evidence, Rule 406 states that a habit, a routine practice, evidence of a person's habit or an organization's routine practice may be admitted to prove that on a particular occasion, the person or organization acted in accordance with that habit or routine practice. Remember that, fellow TIs, if you ever have to sue. Now, detecting surveillance requires positioning yourself to detect a pattern. And once you detect a pattern and you detect that practice, then you need to come up with ways to position yourself where you can document the threat. Never have I one time harmed a perpetrator. I don't support violence. So in the past, I've shared with TIs videos where I've experienced life-threatening activities. On prior channels, I've shared videos where I've received death threats, where people have shot guns really close by to where I'm at to freak me out so I won't walk there no more. So that way I won't enjoy my environment. When implementing counter-surveillance measures, it's important to recognize the types of surveillance you may face. TIs face physical surveillance. Human operatives follow you and they monitor your movement. TIs face electronic surveillance. This may include one of the following: a hidden camera, a listening device, a tracking device is typically common. TIs face cyber surveillance due to digital intrusions through malware, network intrusions, and device hacking. TIs typically experience vehicular surveillance. Tracking devices may be utilized. It could be a passive GPS tracking device. It could be your phone's being tracked with Stingray technology. So if you're experiencing vehicular harassment or surveillance, one method you may want to utilize is referred to as SDR, or surveillance detection route. You want to plan paths designed to reveal potential followers. Create a route with 4 key observation points where surveillance teams would be forced to reveal themselves. Incorporate slight logical changes in direction rather than obvious detours. Include at least 2 direction changes to filter out coincidental followers. Use locations like bridges, roundabouts, or one-way streets where surveillance would be forced to follow you. And if you're going out on foot, move away from crowded spaces to more open areas where followers become more visible. If you're entering a building, take an elevator. And once you get to like a mid-floor, let's say the 4th floor or something like that, get off of it. And then wait a while, then get back on to confuse the perpetrator that is following you. If you're at a metro bus station, observe those who don't board after several arrivals and departure. Let's say you're seeing the same person is showing up. So, when driving and you're noticing you're under surveillance, one strategy that may be useful is to circle a traffic circle multiple times to spot vehicles doing the same thing. Drive unusually slow to prompt most vehicles to pass you, but don't drive so slow that you get a ticket. Also, avoid predictable patterns to your regular driving routes. And if you are experiencing like sneaking peeks, kind of like with actress Brittany Murphy and DHS whistleblower Julia Davis, if you experience what they've experienced, sneaking peeks, reports of people coming into your house and they're not maintenance men, Well, it can't hurt to scan your area. So you can do a physical inspection. You can use a spectrum analyzer to detect radio emissions from bugs. You can use a non-linear junction detector to find electronic components, even when powered off. You can use thermal imaging devices to locate heat signatures from active surveillance devices. You want to conduct physical inspections. You may want to look for, your fire alarm. You may want to look at your outlets and stuff like that. So, since we are dealing with groups which operate outside of the law, we are essentially dealing with people that operate like extremist groups. They often use intimidation, coercion, harassment to silence opposing views, which aligns with the behavior that they support. So they typically suppress free speech, which undermines democratic principles. They promote systematic harassment, long-term mobbing, defamation, and threats. Hold on 1 second. So by sitting in your car for 2 to 3 minutes upon arrival, that allows you to be able to scan the area for potential perpetrators. Don't make assumptions. Don't confront people. Don't harass nobody. But if they're not around and they're not looking, get their VIN, get their tag number, look for identifiers. Do you see a lanyard hanging from their review mirror? So by doing this, you will be surprised at what you will gain, because there have been countless times where I've sat in my car 2 to 3 minutes, gone shopping, and the person that parked next to me or in proximity to where I parked harassed me. And then when I started running these people's tags, sometimes years later, I would find out that they were working for a clandestine group, an Israeli group, a subcontractor. They have experience in cybersecurity, role-playing, surveillance work. So by saving information, no matter how mediocre it may seem, sometimes it'll help you to put this puzzle together. I've been a target since 1996. Now, a while back, I shared with TIs a video where my car was all smashed up from every angle. And every day I had a neighbor or a relative, somebody saying, hey, your car it's been smashed here, it's been smashed there, it's been smashed here. So I had to go to an auto body repair shop. They fixed everything. And then that same month, I had to go back again. Then I had to go back again. Then I had to go back again. And everyone was quoting me thousands of dollars. I'm thinking, my Lord. So a couple days ago, I'm in LabCorp getting blood work done. And a guy comes in and says, hey, whoever owns this white car, he mentioned the model, he says, you may want to look at your car. So I said, that's my car. I go outside, and there's a lady in a big white truck, and it has these massively long doors. It's like one of these older trucks from the 80s. And the guy said that he's seen this lady open up the door and pushed it extra hard as to hit my car, and even reverse to get closer to my car. So he found that to be suspicious. So when I looked at the car, I see no damage. So days later, I don't know why I did this, I felt led to get in the back seat of my car. And I lay down, and I'm peeking out, and I see a car pull up next to my vehicle, and I see a guy standing, looking in my vehicle, looking around like he's nervous. And he had a lanyard on, and it says DSD. And the guy's Jewish. You can look at him and tell. And there's packages all in the back seat. I have his tag. I have all his information. So he opens the door, and then it's fully open, then he pushes it more. When he has like 3 feet of room. He's not a big guy. So it made me wonder, because typically I don't see that type of stuff, fellow TIs. It just seemed unusual. Now, if you arrive at a place and you start to notice an unusual pattern where once you arrive at a place, a minute or two later, somebody parks next to your car. And then they honk the horn, and then they drive off, but you don't know who they are. That could be a sign also, fellow TIs. Let me pause the video for a moment. One thing I find interesting is that you don't hear about gangbangers being gang stomped. You know why? Because these people have guns and they will use them. See, since we're nonviolent and we're easy prey, it makes it where these organizations feel comfortable utilizing kids, utilizing contractors and their families that are 8A business vendors and so on. Because they know that you're not dangerous. They know that when you're going to Chris Fru's Steakhouse with your 90-year-old grandmother, it's not to steal or kill or to promote a problem. They know that when you go to a grocery store, it's to buy food, so that way you can survive. They know that when you're in a McDonald's, eating after an 8-hour road trip to visit your aunt, that you're not there to promote terrorism or crime. So what the enemy does is they outsource this. They track your phone, sometimes even your vehicle, so that way they can show up upon arrival, or sometimes even before you arrive, because they monitor your internet activity, your Google Maps. Everything is being seen in real time. I want to stress the importance of nonviolence, fellow TIs. I don't support violence, and there's a bunch of reasons why. First of all, Jesus commanded us to love our neighbor as ourselves, not to harm other people. So I don't care what country, what group, what Schofield Bible you read, murdering people is unethical. Gang stalking people is unethical. There's nothing biblical about it. And those types of people you want to avoid. If somebody's promoting violence, expose that brother. But if somebody's coming your way, fellow TIs, and let's say you're just walking and they park their car and they have a gun holster on their side with a gun in it. And they walk up to you and go, "Sss." They walk back to their car, which is like less than 100 feet away. Those types of things, fellow TIs, aren't coincidences when you notice a pattern or a practice in a certain area. And that was the case for me. And in the past, fellow TIs, I've shared horrible things. I've lived in areas where everyone's middle class. The area requires a key fob to get in. And then I wake up one day to find all my car wires slashed. It wasn't a wild animal. Police stated it was done deliberately. And prior to that happening, a guy was spotted outside my place. And the exact moment I exited, it was like 8 years ago, he honked his horn, lowered his window down, and I seen his lips puckered up, and my window was down about 2 inches. It was a breezy day that day, and I heard a loud whistle sound. He had a black suit on and a thin black tie. When I went to the House of Representatives to talk about this same guy had showed up, and during recess, before I got to talk to the House of Representatives in Texas, this guy looks at me, he goes, "Sss," and he's on the phone talking to a sheriff. He has a speakerphone on.